Marriage Moments with the Islands.
Marriage Moments with the Islands.
Season 2. What do you think about? Do you have any things that you would like to recap about season 1, or what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I just when we started this, or when we started talking about doing this, I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't know what to expect. But I think it's been fun. I've had fun sharing our life experiences, and in hopes that it's helping people. That's always our goal. And but I guess I think the biggest take home that I have from our first season was that the things that we've been through are able to help somebody. They can really help somebody. And so I'd never really thought of it like that. I guess, you just kind of live, you're just kind of living your life and trying to be the best at whatever it is, you do, whether you're the husband, the wife, or, the mom, the whatever, where you work, whatever, you're just trying to do your best. And I never really look at any one thing that I'm doing in particular, like this is going to truly just help somebody. I look at it like, okay, this is what God is doing in my life. And I guess kind of in the back of my mind, I might know that God is going to use this somehow, but you never really know how. And we've gotten people to comment that say, this has been really helpful and things like that. So I guess in the grand scheme of it all, knowing that our moments do help people was something that I was like, oh, wow, it kind of just dawned on me, I guess.
Yeah, every moment matters. And so I guess, the bottom line is that season 1 gives you understanding that something's brewing inside of our marriage, and, someone else can sip from it and be refreshed. And so that's so good. People can actually learn from our experiences. So
that was very poetic.
Yeah, what are we about to get into today? Because, this is something that's special, I believe. It's always special, I believe, when we get together, but we want to get into something that will benefit not only married couples, but, people that are dating, people that are engaged, even people that are single.
Yeah.
So what are we going to dive into today?
So we're going to talk about new beginnings.
New beginnings.
Mm-hmm. When you hear that topic or that phrase, new beginnings, what do you think of?
I think adventures. I think about experiences that are beyond my comprehension. I think about, it's going to take a little faith.
Oh, yeah.
I get to learn.
Yeah.
I think of things like this because, I've been through a lot of transitions, and transitions are typically when you transition to something, you transition to something new.
Yeah.
Sometimes you transition to something that's old, but when you transition to something new, I've been through those seasons. And so because of that, I know it's going to take some faith.
Yeah.
It's going to be adventurous. I'm going to learn a lot, about myself, about other people, about, life. And so that's what comes to my mind. What about you? When you hear the word new, or the phrase, new beginnings, what comes to your mind?
I think for me, it's a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of a wonder, is this going to pass? Is it going to fail? Is it going to be okay? What's going to happen? I tend to overthink. I tend to go far way out there on probably the worst case scenarios. And so that isn't a lesson in and of itself, how opposite we are, which is good. But I do think it takes faith. I do think it does connotate, faith, because it's starting something new.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's a little bit of nervousness, like butterflies in the stomach, a little bit of anxiety, sweaty palms, the whole nine for me. Just because, although I'm excited to start something new, I just kind of always, I think that's more my nature, my personality, is to just kind of be a little nervous, a little leery, a little all the time. And so That's something I'm working on, right? But
Well, I guess that's an unknown fact about Helena Island because you've been an entrepreneur in so many different areas. You've started up, over 4 different ministries, 5, 6 ministries,
Yeah.
and started a new career when you were a teacher. So,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, had to start something, start school. When you went to
Start a
college,
marriage.
start a marriage.
With all those starts, for me, there was a level of anxiety, there was a level of nervousness, and a level of tension there. But I think that when in any new beginning, whether it's a marriage or a baby or a business venture or a new job or newly divorced, newly single, widowed, I think with anything new, there's always that little bit of apprehension that is probably safe and normal. I think what's abnormal is when you begin to live out of that,
Yeah.
and live, because it starts to prohibit you from being able to truly move forward, So I think it's normal to have a little bit of that. I think it's absolutely normal, particularly for Christians, to have that fear that we're giving to God, that, our anxieties that we're casting on, to God as he asks us to. And just pressing through and just doing what you got to do, scared, anxious, nervous. Those emotions are not going anywhere, but I don't think they should govern our lives.
Yeah, it doesn't terminate your progress
Yeah.
unless you allow it to paralyze
Yeah,
you.
it can.
Yeah, it has the ability to, but it doesn't just because you have that feeling
Yeah.
of new beginnings. And so, what would you say to a person that they just got a divorce? They've been in a long marriage and thought that they would live their life with their counterpart, their spouse, for the rest of their life because they went through the vows
they
and
agreed
said,
to.
they agreed to that,
Yeah.
till death do us part. And then, shattered dream.
Yeah.
They get a divorce. Now, the new beginning for them, it's not necessarily a joyous experience, but they're now single at an age possibly that they didn't imagine themselves single. They may even have children. What would you say to a person that may be dealing with anxiety or fears or doubts in a moment like that? What would you say to someone like that?
Well, I mean, I would have to say, grieve your loss first and foremost, because
Wow.
I think a lot of times we're so quick to go on to a new beginning that we forget that there was a loss there, sometimes. And so I say grieve your loss and then get up, and move forward with your life because we're Christians, we believe God is faithful, right? And it's not like the divorce or the end of the relationship caught him by surprise.
Caught God by surprise.
Right. It did not catch God by surprise. And because it didn't, he knows exactly how to help you navigate,
Wow. So giving yourself permission to grieve, I think that's a lost art
Yeah.
in life because of busyness and the drive to be productive. And sometimes we think busy is actually productivity,
Yeah.
which they're polar opposite many times. So often you want to just keep yourself busy. I've even heard this helping people recover from addiction. They say, well, I'm keeping myself busy.
Yeah.
But you're saying you should have time and give yourself permission to grieve whatever loss, whether you lost a job because of addiction, you lost a spouse, what we're talking about right now, you lost a relationship, but give yourself time to grieve. And that's not like a in the box permanent
Right.
time period. It's different for different people, right?
It is. I think that starts with knowing yourself, and above that, knowing your God, where you have your faith planted. Because in times like that, I haven't had that experience, thank God, but I have walked through that with people, and a lot of times they don't even know what they're feeling. They don't realize it because you it takes time to know yourself, to know that this actually hurts me. This bothers me.
Yeah.
I'm angry. I'm depressed. I'm scared even. Sometimes people don't know that that's the emotion that they're feeling, because a lot of times there's kids, there's a mortgage, there's car payments that have to keep going on.
You go into survival mode, right?
You go into survival mode. And so sometimes, particularly I can speak for women, it's hard to take a step back and just say, how am I feeling? What do I think about this? Do I even blame God? Should I start there? And so yeah, I think that's one of the things that people sometimes forget to do, is to take a look inside and say, man, this new beginning it's literally killing me softly.
Would you say that that's very vital to the next step, which is to walk in the singleness instead of being just a divorcee?
Yeah.
Now you step into singlehood where you're single and you're ready to mingle.
Yeah.
Would you think that's very important?
I do. I think it's very important because you could inadvertently be taking out emotion and just all of the things that you're feeling. You could be taking that out on the next person.
Yeah.
And not even knowing, even really intending to, but it just kind of rolls over because you never dealt with it.
So you're bringing baggage into a relationship, and someone is experiencing your hurt and they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like not fair to that person.
And
right?
not fair to yourself, because you're not going to enjoy the beautiful new,
Yeah.
And so the beautiful new beginning. So I think that in order to truly start a new beginning, I guess off on a good foot for someone who's experienced divorce as a loss, the best thing to do is just to take some time personally to grieve that loss and all of the dreams and hopes that were encompassed in it, right? And then do some inward work to say, hey, how did my actions or lack of action contribute to that divorce, and start working on those things, and then so that when you do get a new beginning, if you choose a new beginning with another person, you're going in there sort of with a clean slate, so to speak, for yourself and for the person.
Yeah, as close as possible, because we always bring some type of baggage, or we bring some type of shortcomings to a relationship. Okay, well, we started a little grim, but what about newlyweds? Someone that's just now getting married. Oh my God, we picked our colors, we got the venue, and we got all of the people that's going to be involved in the marriage. And
fiance
and
about to get married or already
I'm
married.
trying to paint a picture of you've went through all of that.
Oh, okay.
You got to the marriage. You said I do, and after that, now you're married. You went through your honeymoon, and once you've been through the honeymoon, you guys just now settling in, and now you're married. And so, what would you say to a person that you went through the phases, all the phases, because those are emotional uproars.
Yeah.
That's emotional time when you're picking your colors, you're picking the people that's involved in your wedding. All that's fun. And I'm not saying marriage is not fun, but now you've passed all of that. You even went to your site, Bahamas, Aruba, wherever. You had a great time in your honeymoon.
Yeah.
You get home, finally, you guys purchased a home, and it's just you two, no kids. Or maybe you do have kids, but it's new beginnings now. You're living your life with someone else that you're about to go on a journey to get to know. What do you say about those new beginnings? What do you think about that? Someone that's experiencing that.
You painted that picture so vividly. I want to know what you would do. What do you think?
Well, I can say that remember your vows. Remember what you vowed to that individual, and more importantly, you vowed to God before witnesses, because they will be checked. You know, you'll have to go back to that.
Tested.
Yeah, they'll be tested.
By fire.
By fire. Wow. I wouldn't use that illustration, but woo!
I would.
You know, you might have to get a fire extinguisher
Yeah.
a few times, you know, because there's going to be conflict and resolution skills. Learn to get conflict and resolution skills because now this adventure is going to be fun, but it's all about your perspective. I heard a quote one time. They said, don't complain about roses having thorns, rejoice that thorn bushes have roses.
Oh, wow.
And it's just all about perspective.
Yeah.
You know, it's about perspective. Like, so it's going to be an adventure. So what I would say is the person that's going through that adventure, someone that's going through that season, they just now started
Yeah.
their marriage. This is something I can say from a fault, is enjoy every moment.
Yeah.
You know, there's times when I'm just working so hard to be better and to be a better husband, be a better man. And you kind of lose the joy. And not that you're just upset or anything or disturbed, but you just begin to get into a robotic moment and season, and you want to make sure that you enjoy every moment with your spouse. And hey, even if it's an argument, you kind of like learn about yourself, you learn about your spouse. And so I think that if you're just now starting off in marriage, you know, enjoy every moment. Enjoy it, have fun. You know, I mean, just really smile, laugh, have a great time. Now, that don't mean everything is peaches and cream, but just enjoy it anyway, you know, because you only get one life to live.
Yeah.
And if you live it right, you won't need another one.
Yeah.
You only get one life to live.
Right.
And if you live it right, you won't need another, meaning you won't have any regrets. You won't wish that
I'm
you
like, is that a
had
dad joke?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying if you would wish, you won't be wishing like, man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that.
you
I wish we would have had more time together. You won't have no regrets.
Yeah.
You'll live every moment out joyfully.
Yeah.
And you know, there's going to be some seasons where sometimes there's depression or, you know, they hit your heart, but shake it off, grow through those seasons and get to know yourself better and get to know your spouse. And I know that's a lot for someone that's just getting married, but enjoy, to sum it up, enjoy time with your spouse.
Enjoy your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that too. I feel like we had so much going on when we first got married. We just,
oh boy.
I mean, right after our honeymoon, we just kind of went head first into our calling, into what we do. And I can't say that I can't say I took the time to actually enjoy, you know, being Mrs. Island, being your wife, being, you know, I kind of went into wife/partner, business partner pretty quick. So, but yeah, I think that's really good.
I can give you the time. I think it was 2016 is when we began to start really focusing on us. We were serving other people to a fault.
Yeah.
We were serving people. We just dedicated our life, and everyone was hip hip hooray and great job, and oh my gosh, you guys are doing amazing in serving people, ministry.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that we were falling apart, but I don't think that we put a high emphasis on getting to know one another. And, you know, we went out on trips. We had date nights.
Yeah.
We spent time together. But I think when we just really started gelling and really being super intentional about us, it was about 2016. And we got married in 2010.
Yeah.
So that's 6 years of not necessarily misery. It was just, we just weren't as intentional about our marriage as we should have been.
Yeah. So we started focusing on the quality.
The quality.
Not just the quantity of years together, but the quality of the time that we share.
That's a word. That's a word, because some individuals, they brag about being married for a certain amount of time, which kudos. I tip my hat to you, because it is challenging.
Yeah.
But it's not all about how long, but it's how good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the quality, not the quantity. That's so important. So you got new experiences, new beginnings. Some of us are setting new goals. You know, whether it's a goal to work out more, whether it's a goal to eat better, whether it's a goal to be a better person, whether it's a goal to accomplish a higher education level. When people having personal goals and agendas in their life, what would you say to people that have, like, they have goals and they have new beginnings that they're about to start, and there is that anxiety. You're right. People have those butterflies, so to speak, or fears or doubts or, insecurities. And it's normal. You're human. One thing we know for sure is your humanity does not nullify God's divinity.
True.
And so God is still good.
Yeah.
He's still amazing. And he's right there with you if you have turned yourself over to the Lord. What would you say to a person that's in that season? New beginnings, personal goals.
Well, for an individual, I would say those emotions are normal, but don't let them paralyze you from moving forward, to the fullest, Ask the Lord for strength to push past them so that you can accomplish all that you're setting out to do. For a couple, I would say, because sometimes you have a new adventure going on, not necessarily my adventure.
Yeah.
You have something new going on, or I have something new going on, or I got a new car and you didn't get a car, or whatever, or whatever. You got something, or you're starting something and I'm just not. I say to couples, a win for your spouse is a win for you. And I think that sometimes couples, I know early on, battle with, because we battled with that. Well, I did, understanding that we're a team. And because we're a team, when he wins, I win. And when I win, he wins. I've literally known couples to be envious of their spouse, or even basically low-key hating on their spouse. Oh, you think you're all that because you got a degree or you got whatever, And I think that that's hurtful, So I'll kind of backtrack and say that, push past your anxieties, push past your fears, do your very best, accomplish all the goals. And then for your spouse, understand that if your spouse is winning, you're winning.
Yeah. I think that most of the time, the battle is to bring two individuals and make them one unit.
Yeah.
That's the battle. People are living individual lives in a marriage, and it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's very unhealthy. And, everyone has their own setup in marriage, but for sure, two people supposed to become one unit.
Yeah.
And so, again, like you were saying, I'm going to regurgitate what you said. If you're winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, you're winning. We're Team Island. Mm-hmm. And so that's so good. So if you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, if someone's conquering their goals, there's no reason for you to be insecure. If anything, it should motivate you.
It should motivate you.
It should motivate you to conquer the goals and show you that it's possible. Mm-hmm. And not only that, you're winning as well. Now, there's another extreme as well. One person's conquering all the goals and another one's not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
That's unhealthy. And say,
we need you to get some new beginnings.
Yeah, and you're talking about, we're winning. Well, hold on now.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Yeah, we are, but we need you to bring something to the table now,
Yeah.
And that's so important as well, because that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Because,
both of those extremes, right?
Both of those extremes, yeah. So I'm so happy for new beginnings. I love new beginnings. You shared about how new beginnings, brought anxiety and fears. It brings excitement to me. I love starting something new. I do. But as much as I love starting things new, there's something deeply embedded in my character that I like to finish.
Yeah.
The fulfillment of finishing a task is very, very stimulating to me, because that's, for me, what it's all about: accomplishing, conquering, and so
you
it's so.
You sound like a caveman, babe.
Yeah, well,
Conquering.
I love to do it. I think that's just the man in me. From being competitive, from being in sports and playing, any type of game. You know how I am. I'm really excited about finishing. I'm not thinking about, we started the game. I'm thinking about, I'm gonna really finish you off.
Wow.
Finish him.
Okay. I was waiting on that.
Yeah, you
But
know
yeah,
what's coming.
and sometimes even finishing things brings a level of anxiety because it's like, okay, well, what's next? You know,
Right.
So, or can I top this? You know, I did. You know, this was pretty good. Is the next thing going to be just as good? Is it going to be better? Am I going to fail? You know, so
That is so good. That's so good because, I mean, and that's the importance of always having new beginnings. Not finding yourself in the hallway.
yeah,
You know, you walk out a door and you go into another door.
Yeah.
If you're hanging out in the hallway, it's possible complacency. And complacency, if it's at the root, compromises the fruit. And you don't
okay.
want to
unpack that a little.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean by complacency is when you begin to start thinking that it's okay to remain the same. It's okay to it's not conflicting with being content.
Yeah.
Being
yeah,
content is one
yeah.
thing, but complacent means you have no aspiring desires to go any further than where you are. Well, when you compromise like that, and that's at the root of your character, well, compromise will be the fruit. You'll be compromising the integrity of the call of God that's on your life. You'll be compromising, the goals that you could accomplish. You'll be compromising being a better husband, being a better spouse. You'll compromise, becoming who God created you to be, all because of complacency.
I could see that because when a person is complacent, or even when I've been complacent, you just kind of redefine the terms, right?
Right.
So let's just say the goal was, I'm gonna learn how to speak a foreign language or something, but you just become complacent and say, you know what, I'm good. Like it'll be okay. Well, you redefine the terms. Well, it's not fully learning the language. I'm just gonna learn a few phrases of the language or something like that. When the challenge is put down and you see the work sometimes that is going to take to accomplish stuff, it causes you to just be like, I don't know.
That's beautiful because in new beginnings, you need to count the costs and calculate what is it going to take.
Yeah.
If I start this, what is it going to take to finish this?
Yeah.
If I start a marriage, what is it going to take? It's going to take some conflict resolution skills.
Yeah,
It's going to take me, humbling myself. It's going to take me making adjustments and changing. Our old statement, if you don't want to change, you should not get married.
Right.
You should not get married because you can't even get a dog and not change.
Right.
If you get a dog, start a relationship with a dog, you're going to have to change some things, some patterns in your life. So what do you think about another human being coming in your space? Yeah. So count the costs when you start something. And when you start something, you count the costs. Why are you counting the costs? So you can fulfill the accomplishing the goal and the task at hand.
And you don't have to switch it up because, well, now I don't want, I'm good. I don't want to go that far with it or whatever. So I feel
I guess you're saying you don't want to go that far, meaning I'm going to get a divorce or
I'm going to refuse to change.
Yeah. Which will stagnate your marriage.
And somebody is going to be tremendously unhappy with that at some point.
Okay.
So, you can't really, you can't just go to the fullness of anything when you just stop and become complacent.
Yeah. Yeah, everything grows. Everything grows, even in the nature of plants, in the world of plants. It's simple, basic. Anything that's growing is alive.
Yeah.
Anything that's not growing is dead.
Yeah.
Because dead things do not grow.
Right.
And so it's so important. So what do we know? What do we know about new beginnings? Well, we know one thing. Many times it brings anxiety and fears and doubts and insecurities. And that's good because maybe you didn't even know that about yourself.
Right.
Maybe you said, wow, maybe you felt real confident until you started that new venture and you're like, whoa, hold on. Yeah. You started that new relationship. Oh, wow, I didn't know that was in me. Yeah. Well, it gives you an opportunity to actually change and deal with that, or know that about yourself. And so you can prepare yourself better when you do start something new. So that we know that it reveals ourselves to ourselves. And so we know that. And what else do we know? Well, we know that it can be exciting. It's adventurous, we know that, when we begin, we should count the costs.
Yes.
Because when we count the costs, we'll know this is what it's going to take to fulfill that task.
Yes.
And one thing we do know is it can be a beautiful experience if we enjoy every moment.
Yeah.
I so much love hanging out with you.
Okay, I like hanging out with you too.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Great. Good
It's very good time. So season 2, this is episode 1, Marriage Moments. We love you guys so much. We know that every moment matters. And we're learning that as we go. What would really bless us? What would bless us? It would bless us.
For people to rate, review, and share.
Yeah, you like to kind of like teeter up with that one. That's so cool. But so anyway, we would love for you to rate, review, share it. and
I was still like, wait, what? Oh, no, okay, I got it.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of our marriage. That's the beauty. We get to, we get to glean off of one another.
Yeah.
And so I love you so much, Elena. I love the new beginnings that we have before us. I love the beginnings that we are actually started and actually conquered.
Yeah.
There we go. And I thank you guys for joining us. And God bless you guys. And once again, this is the Marriage Moments with the Islands.